Peace and love, y'all. It's your girl, Divine Priestess, tapping back in with y'all with more messages from Spirit. And you already know what time it is. We are going to go ahead and tap in and clear this energy. So to the Most High, the Creator of all, God, Spirit, Universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides of divine white light, thank you so much. I call in your unconditional love, divine guidance, and spiritual protection over this space and over this reading. Allow me to be a vessel to channel your divine wisdom and guidance and call on your protection against any low vibrational being, demon, entity, evil eye, black magic, spell work, hexes, hoodoo, voodoo, or curses. And so may it be, I say. Peace and love, y'all. What's up? TDSNLA. What's going on, love? Thank you so much for joining the live, y'all. Look, okay, we're going to go ahead and hop right into it, y'all, okay, because it is the 111 portal, okay? The 111 portal is all about ascension, all about stepping into purpose, all about that star seed energy, okay? Tapping into raising the frequency and the vibration of the planet, okay? So this is us channeling our energy into positivity, channeling our energy into the best outcome, right? Us being able to utilize our imagination, utilize our meditation and prayer and direct it, okay, in unison together to uplift the frequency, because it's really needed right now, okay? If we haven't been able to tell how much is needed in this moment because of everything that's going on across the world, we definitely all need to come together because our energy and our power together is so powerful, okay? And think about it, y'all. Why do you think that propaganda is so prevalent anyway, right? Propaganda is a conditioning of the mind, right? And they want to condition the minds of people so we all have this same mindset, okay? And so that way we can utilize and channel energy towards the benefit of whatever they would like for it to be, right? But if we took that same energy and we came together to direct that energy to a high vibration, high frequency, okay, we would really be able to eliminate some of the grandiose chaos that's going on in the world, right? So this is what this is about. This is about us coming together, finding that peace within despite of all the chaos that is being reflected to us through propaganda and things like that. Not like these things are not actually happening, right? But here's the thing, right? When we channel that the stuff that we're watching on our social media and things like that, when we remain positive, okay, when we remain and we decide that instead of us starting to fear monger and things like that, we go right into prayer and we go right into positive affirmations. We go right into affirming that God is the Almighty, and with the power of God, any miraculous thing can happen. So why do we have to have so much faith in the downfall of something when we know that God can come in and heal it all, fix it all, okay? So that's what that's about, y'all. And so with 111 portal, okay, right now it is the prime time to manifest, okay? It is the prime time to manifest. So we want to utilize this energy as well to go within and decipher like what it is that we really desire for 2025. Like, what do we want? Because the reality is, like, from this point on till about March, April, right? Whenever the summer solstice, but it's the spring equinox, right? Whenever that hits, that is really when the new year begins. So it's like we have kind of got a head start with the new year, right? Of the new year of the Matrix, right? For us to really go into planning mode, really go into visualizing mode, really going into a space where we're identifying the things that we desire to be ushered into our lives that's going to benefit us, that's going to align with our purpose and give us purpose, okay? These are the things that the 111 portal is doing and is empowering for us, okay? It's prime time to manifest. prosperous new beginnings, okay? So not only, right, are we closing out cycles and things like that, it's about completion. So it's like whatever is no longer serving us, it's like we are out of that gray area where we were conflicted between the old and the new. This is us stepping, completely emerging into the new, completely emerging into our purpose, completely emerging into who we know to be as our purpose, what God assigned us to be doing, when it comes to like the star seed aspect, right? Some of us have come to this realm of existence to uplift the frequency of the earth during this time, because we have to offset this negativity, offset the balance, that imbalance, right? We have to get to this space where we are uplifting this frequency, right? Because the vibrations are so low, right? That's all that they've been kind of broadcasting out, is this low vibrational negative energy. And here we are to come to offset this, okay? So we're bringing our energy to the side. Yes, we shifting this. This is like 2025. We know that there's this huge shift, right? We're seeing it where it's just like, they've released the fact that there's aliens. There's fucking satellites falling out of the sky. There's like everything that was quote unquote conspiracy, like, however long back, now they're saying, oh no, yeah, this is actually real. This is what's happening. Things like that, right? So it's like we're waking up to a whole new world, right? It's a whole new experience. And this should like excite us in a sense that it's like, oh my gosh, like this whole time we just thought that life was this mundane thing where we just wake up, we, go to work and come home and do this shit over and over again. But now we're realizing that, man, like maybe we're not the only species in this universe, which that's always been a topic of discussion, where there's been people who believe that and there's people that don't believe that, right? But now it's evident. The obvious is there. There's no denying it anymore, right? So it's like when we see these things shifting and we recognize these shifts and these changes, are we just going to continue to stay the same even though we're seeing the shifts of the world? We're seeing all of these things happening. It's like, shouldn't we start questioning it now? It's like, wow, this whole world that I thought this was is no longer what I thought it was, right? So it's like, now, do I need to recalibrate? Do I need to tap into reality, of the real reality, not what the matrix or the facade that has been put in front of us this so long? It's like the veil is being lifted and we're able to see the realness and the reality of what is going on, okay? So yes, y'all, the 111 portal is prime time to manifest prosperous new beginnings, okay? It's a fresh start for alignment and manifestation, okay? And not only new beginnings, but also completion and transformative energy, right? So like I said before, we're stepping fully into alignment of our soul's purpose, right? So it's like some of us may be a little bit behind because we're still trying to figure out what that soul's purpose is. But as long as you're walking the path to discover that and you're working on yourself regularly, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's about taking those actions, right? To be ready to find purpose, to stand in the purpose, to recognize like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to contribute to this new world? Because as the world as we know it is changing, it's shifting. It is not the same. Right? And so we should be in this space where we're ready to kind of explore a little bit more, to figure out like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to apply myself to this new way of existing, this new world, okay, as we are discovering it, because it's not even that we know it yet, because things are continuously unfolding every day, okay? So yes, very much starseed energy as well. This 111 portal is very much starseed energy, very much raise the vibration and the frequency of the planet. So like I said, mass consciousness is such an important thing. If we come together and we do, group meditations, right? Group prayers. Like if we, 1,000 of us got on live, or 1,000 of us got, we all together we prayed together. we don't even really recognize the power of what that really is and how that really shifts and molds something, right? That could shift and change a lot of things, okay? So this is what the power of us stepping in our purpose is, because now instead of us utilizing, it's like we don't even recognize what we're doing by feeding into all the propaganda that we watch. But the powers that were, they know what they're doing. They know the power of our mass consciousness, which is why propaganda is so prevalent. Okay, which is why they've created controlled chaos, right? Some of these things are false flags, and it's like we seen people throwing gasoline in LA, right? We seen certain things that show stage. And how often do we see things that show stage? Every fucking time we seen a protest, every time we seen something chaotic going on in the world, we also seen something that showed that it was premeditated, or something where it was not just the raw, natural realness of it, but it was a false flag, right? Where they go and they create this chaos and they put it in the media so we can get our energy all muffled, all ruffled, right? And so that is a form of energy siphoning, right? So this is narcissism on a grand scale. Hey, Stress Free, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yeah, like propaganda is contributing to the mass consciousness and making us get into this space where we have this chaotic reaction to it, right? This chaotic response to it. And then what happens is they channeling that, siphoning that energy, right? So it's like we need to offset that by utilizing our energy, right? If we use mass consciousness and we use mass consciousness in a way where we might gather together and we do, 1,000 people do a prayer for LA. 1,000 people come together to focus and meditate on a certain outcome. That mass consciousness would be so powerful, it would affect and change the frequency and the energy. And that's what we are doing. That's what the 111 portal is about. It's about that starseed energy, us stepping into our purpose and us utilizing our energy to raise the vibration during this time, because there's so much negativity going in the world. There's so much propaganda being pushed to create fear and chaos and all of these things. And they're using it to their benefit, right? So it's about that time where we do the bait and switch on their ass. And we're like, no, we're taking our power back, and you're not going to fear monger us, right? You guys are not going to create this chaos and then try to act like y'all got a solution for the chaos that y'all fucking created, okay? So this is the reality of what is going on behind the scene and how we can offset it, right? Stepping into this 111 portal, we start getting into our starseed energy and recognizing that we are just as powerful. We're more powerful than them. That's why they siphon our energy, because we are the power source. So when we start using our source of power against the system, right, and start using it for the people, right, then we'll start to see this shift where we start raising the vibration. We start empowering each other. We won't even need their ass no more. We cut the middleman out, and we could just do our own thing and create our own, communities, right? Where we thrive and we pour into each other, right? That's what this is about. Let's raise the vibration and the frequency. Step into alignment of our soul's purpose, okay? And sometimes it takes some little discovery, right? Because not everybody is awake now. There's still some things that people are looking to do to try to tap into, like, well, what did God have for me, right? What does God have for me, right? People don't always want to think super big, but guess what? It could just be something as simple as like what I'm doing here today. We're having this communication. Hey, Kamiko LaShawn, thank you so much for joining the live. We're having this communication. Through this conversation, we are raising the frequency. We are raising the vibration. We are speaking and it's almost like an affirmation where we are speaking positivity on empowering the people, right? And so when we start to create this type of dialogue, right? And we start to create these conversations, and we put it on our mind, and when we go home and we say a prayer, right, to uplift the star seeds, the people that are out here for the good of humanity or whatever. When we start doing that, that alone uplifts the frequency. People always think that, well, there's nothing that I can do, like, but the thing about it is, what you can do is heal within. Okay, when we heal within, we start to see it on the outside. It starts to reflect on the outside, right? Hey, Mr. Wilson 19, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yes, this is what this portal is about. It's about coming together, right, to create a new way, a new outlook, right? Because they use this propaganda against us and they siphon our energy. So it's like if we flip it on their ass and say, you know what, we're not letting y'all propaganda and y'all controlled chaos to put fear in us. When we have the power of the Most High and we allow the Most High to guide us, then we don't have to be in fear, right? We don't have to be in fear. We can sit and we can recognize what's going on. We can acknowledge it for what it is, but then we utilize that energy to affirm positive things, to affirm that this, these things will be overcome, right? And that's what we need to do to reassure that this is not the end, right? We have our own power that we can utilize to fuel something, to shift the energy of it, right? That's pretty much what I'm saying, right? So this day is a perfect day for prayer and meditation, okay? Setting intentions and elevation and ascension, okay? So this is one of those things where it's like, if we're utilizing this portal, we can really make sure that we're manifesting by meditating, doing our yoga, getting ourselves in a healthy mental, spiritual space, okay? Finding that positive space to be in. So we're holding space for the earth. We're holding space for the frequency of this realm of existence, right? So that's what we got. That's what we got to do, okay? So on another note, y'all, what I wanted to tie into that was how worry is a prayer to thy enemy, okay? Because if you think about it, right, we empower the lower forces. We empower the demons. We empower all of these things when we sit here and we channel fear and worry, because fear is what? What is fear, right? Fear is the lack of faith, right? Fear is when we don't feel like we have any type of safety or protection, or that it's like we fear things that sometimes we can't control. All of these different things, but it's like when we keep grounded and we keep that moral grounding foundation of the Most High, right? Knowing that there's a higher source, and knowing that everything has purpose, everything has reason, we start to look at things like that, right? And we just move differently as well when we have a certain level of faith, right? So it's like instead of worrying, let's use our positive affirmations to start praying instead of worrying, right? Our prayer is so powerful. Like, it's so, I be watching, I don't know if y'all be watching Country Wayne, but I fucking love Country Wayne, okay? And I love his skits. And one of the more recent skits that I had watched, they were talking about prayer warriors, right? And it's like, because we are like in this new generation and like the ancestors, right? Remember the grannies, back in the day with the big mamas, and they had God in their foundation, right? They believed in a higher power, and it was like, a lot of that was not passed down, though, for whatever reason. After a certain generation, it kind of got watered down, right? But we need to get back to that, right? Get back to those prayer warriors. When things ain't going right, we need to go right to God, go right to the higher power, go right to the source, okay? And through our intuition, all of those things, we can be guided, in things like that. And also, we can just see certain shifts just happening that we're like, okay, we thought this was going to happen, but we had so much power and so much prayer going against it that it did not prosper. Okay? When we believe in the power of the Most High, like, it can shut down a lot of shit, right? And that's what I'm talking about. It's like worry is a prayer to thy enemy. So it's like whenever we sit there and we worry about something, it's not beneficial. It's not helping us at all. Like worry is not going to benefit us when we're going through something. It's like the faith aspect is what always pushes us through, because as soon as we worry about things, right, it's like a snowball effect. We start to create fear in everything that we're doing, and it just creates a stillness within us where we're not able to move. We're not able to take the right steps to ensure that we are finding a solution or figuring out how we can move ourselves out of the way. You see what I'm saying? So that's very powerful for us to, instead of worry, right, we use our affirmations and our prayers and things like that. So next time we're worried or projecting fear onto others, instead we pray, we speak positive words of affirmation in favor of that positive outcome that we desire. Okay. Now here's the thing, right? There has been times where we prayed for things, and because it went against the will or the understanding of what that purpose of it was, it went beyond what we could understand. So sometimes we lose our faith in prayer because we don't always see it work out the way that we wanted to all the time. Okay. Because sometimes certain things are just meant to happen. And that doesn't mean that, you know, it's a bad thing. It just meant that was an unfortunate situation or circumstance, but you never know how that situation may play out to work in your benefit, right? So when we also create this mindset that even when things reflect and look as if it's set against me, it's really always working for me, okay? Hey, Dania, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah, it's like when we have this mindset that no matter what is going on, it is always working in my favor. It is always working in my favor. Then that is when we decide that we're not going to have, what are we worrying about? Why are we sitting around worried about things that, first of all, are beyond our control sometimes, right? But when we can channel our positive energy and our power into something so that way we can see it through, that is what we have to do. Because in the midst of that prayer, something dawns on us, right? Something comes that shows us a sign or a solution or something like that. But when we're sitting in fear and worry, it makes us block out certain things, right? That we can find, so we can find solution or so we can find healing within, right? Fear doesn't allow us to do that, but faith does, okay? So let's stay in alignment with that faith energy, okay? And like I said, mass consciousness is so powerful. So when we come together and we utilize our energy as a whole, and if we all had this type of mindset, it would certainly allow us to escape a lot of this trauma that we're experiencing. You know, because a lot of this is created by the projection that they're projecting a lot of negativity through the media. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we are channeling it, and then we actually create it ourselves when we believe in the propaganda, when we believe that we don't have a higher power that's in control of all of this shit and that things are going to work out. When we don't have that mentality, then it's easy for the fucked up shit to defeat us and to deplete us, and, you know, and make us feel like there is no way, you know, no point of return, or, you know what I'm saying? There's no way that we can find a resolution or solution to something. You know what I mean? So it's all about the mindset at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If we can keep our minds in a space where we know that we have the power because we have the power of the Most High with us, it would eliminate a lot of our trauma, or at least it would get us out of harm's way, right? Because there's so many times where, I mean, especially 2024, y'all will tell y'all, I went through so many situations where if it wasn't for my faith, baby, I would not be here, okay? If it was not for my faith, I would not be here. I'm telling y'all this, okay? Like, my faith led me out of a very, very dark time, led me out of a very, very dangerous situation, okay? Like, my faith and my willingness to move when I was able to see that things were dangerous, things weren't happening, but because I had the faith, I know that I'm supposed to learn something from this, and also I know that God is always over me and protecting me. He's gonna move me out of the way every time. Hey, Emery F. Edwards, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So it's like that faith, that unwavering faith will move you out of situations that are meant to unalive you, that are meant to get you in a space that's not meant to, things that may be meant to set you back. Things that may, you know what I'm saying? Like, keeping that faith, I'm telling you, y'all, it will get you out of the way. So, you know, you will only understand it when you experience it yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much that I can say, but once you start walking in that faith, you'll even see the difference, and you'll see how empowering it will be in situations where if you weren't utilizing that faith, you know what I'm saying, how you could just continue to go deeper into a dark hole, you know what I'm saying, and it'd take you a lot more time for you to dig yourself out of that hole, right? So yes, y'all, stay positive through these times. I know with everything going on around the world, it's probably causing a lot of, you know, havoc and inner turmoil and confusion, and just like, you know, I know it's creating a lot of anxiety, you know what I'm saying, across the world, because, you know, especially the predictive programming as well from the shows, you know, and the things that we watch. And then it's like, we'll watch some shit and then we'll look up and it's actually happening in our reality. And then it's like the predictive programming, a lot of people, if they're not moving in faith or moving with consciousness, okay, then their subconscious is what's kicking in. And then they go into predictive programming mode, where it's like Netflix taught y'all how to be chaotic in a situation like this, right? It's like, the shit is real. Like when we're talking about leave the world behind or something like that, and they were talking about how all them people had to leave their cars when the fire was happening, and they just had to leave their cars. And, you know, it was very reminiscent of a specific movie, right? And that's what I mean. During these times, I feel like they put shit out there because they're trying to control and dictate the outcome of a chaotic situation that they are controlling. They created that chaos. It's called controlled chaos. So that way they can come out and say, oh, here's a solution. Here's what we can do. When it was really creating more fear and havoc and more control, right? Just like 9/11, right? Now look at us. Now we're in the fucking smart cities and surveillance is everywhere. Bitch don't got no motherfucking privacy. Okay? So it's just like, this is what controlled chaos does. They only utilize it to continue to keep us under control. But this era that we're moving into, the age of the Aquarius, they know that this shit ain't lasting no more. Like, this is God's time now. So it's like, now that they've been having all this fucking control all this time, and now they just want to create even more chaos, more fear, more, you know, situations, because they see that we're evolving consciously, we're ascending, even the animals, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much evolution going on right now, and they want to hinder our growth. They don't want us to ascend. They don't want us to, you know, stop being their source of energy, being their source of, you know, their source of energy, basically. You know, that's what they do. They siphon our energy. And when we realize our energy is the real currency, right, then we'll start channeling our energy in a more responsible ways and things like that. And we'll start investing our energy into things that are more important, you know. We'll see that, wow, you know, we won't give our energy to things so much because we'll recognize how valuable it is. That's why people love to siphon energy. That's why people are sitting up there provoking you and trying to create situations, because that's the importance of the energy exchange that they receive from it. You know what I'm saying? Now we recognize all the drama and all of this ain't just for no reason, right? It's not just for no reason. So yeah, I'm just going to pull a few cards here just to get a few messages from Spirit. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Spirit? What messages do we have for the collective? What messages do we have for the collective, Spirit? Yeah, so we have wishes granted, okay? So this is what I'm saying. This is that starseed energy. We got rainbow child. We got all of this energy where it's like about being in a time where we're uplifting the frequency, okay? This is about abundance, hope, right? We were just talking about faith. We were just talking about, right? And this is all reminiscent of what this 111 portal is about. Okay. Manifestation, wealth, okay. Abundance, being in this high vibrational energy, serendipity, all of that, wishes granted, manifesting. Okay. That's what this is about. Okay. So snapping out of, all of the chaotic shit that's going on, and us recognizing that materialistic things, all of this is not what makes up abundance. Okay. This man-made cheap ass shit that they create to get us, addicted to and everything, that's not real abundance. Abundance is freedom. Abundance is being able to do what you desire to do without feeling the confinements of the matrix. Okay. That's the real abundance. Okay. But keeping this high vibrational energy. Okay. Bonfire is about community coming together, right? When you circle around that fire and everybody's sharing intimate, things and things like that. This is what this is about. Okay. Community, sharing ideas, coming together, right? This is what this time is about. Us loving on each other, because this is the time we need it the most. Okay, all this shit, crazy shit going on in the world. Togetherness is what we need. Okay, but with positivity. Okay, we don't need to. If you got negativity, if you can't come and bring positivity, enthusiasm, okay, into the mix, then that ain't what we need. We don't need you around, baby. We don't need you. We need people that are going to be, you see what I'm saying, rational, okay? People that are going to be, they're going to think, being at the level where, because this is about air signs, right? And this is humanitarian. Aquarius is a very humanitarian, you know what I'm saying? So you have to look at things from a standpoint of the greater good, right? Hey, TC Stacks, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah, but it's about building community, being positive, being in a space where we empower each other. This is what we need the most right now with everything going on in the world, okay? Olive branch, right? This is all about that high vibrational love, okay? This is all about coming into a place where we have, we're coming together with people who we have an agreement, a mutual agreement that we want to see the state of humanity to rise. Okay. This is all about that coming together. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I love. Okay. High vibrational energy. Okay. It's so much in alignment. What else, spirit? Yeah. And then also getting into this place where we're open to exploring nature. Okay. We're open to getting back to the nature, because nature is God, right? When we get into the nature of God, see, this is what happened, right? Man decided that they were going to take us away from nature, take us away from being able to utilize what God gave us, cultivating the land, being able to go right into your yard and say, you know what? I'm going to grow my own fucking plants. I'm going to grow my own herbs. I'm going to grow my own food. Hey, Dazzler Z, thank you so much for joining the live. Hey, Wintertime Happiest, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yeah, that's what this is about. Getting back to cultivating the land. Getting back to, because like I said, man came in and they took us away from the earth, and then they put the cities up, and they said, oh, now we have to live in these cities where we're under control. Now we're being taxed. Now we got to pay to utilize the city shit. You know what I'm saying? But when we were just thriving off the land, we had nobody coming in controlling us, trying to dictate, that is true abundance. If you can live off the land and you can live off the resources that God made, that's real abundance, right? When you don't have to go answer to a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to report to these city jobs and shit like that. Hey, Dragonfly Blue 64, thank you so much for joining the live. Yeah. So this is what this is about. Getting back and connecting back to nature. Yeah, they just pull wool over our eyes. Big facts, okay? But and then see, this is exactly what's happening. This is how they control us, right? And then on top of that, now they burning cities up. And they've been doing this shit. This is nothing new under the sun, because when we look at the history, we see how they flooded cities, how they burnt down cities, because they didn't have control over those in particular cities, right? So this is what they do. This is what they're doing now even, but they just hide it under the guise of climate change and global warming and all of this shit, but it's really geoengineering. They're creating the shit. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get to this place where we're ready to get back in touch with Earth in the land, because when they decide that they want to create some type of chaos, we'll have this intelligence is in this wisdom that we can go and still survive and thrive off of the good green earth that he provided for us. Okay. Winter time happy, it says, yeah, they just pull wool over our eyes. And Dragonfly Blue says, exactly. I was telling my friend this. Yes, exactly. Big facts, y'all. We got to get back to the laws of the land, because we see what's happening in these cities. And I was just seeing something on TikTok where they were saying, like, it's time to, like, everybody move from the major cities, because what they're doing now is they're trying to create these fucking smart cities and shit. And now they're just burning shit down and doing fucked up shit to get people to move out of the way so they can rebuild what they want to do, which is create more surveillance, create more control, right? But freedom is real abundance. So when we decide that we don't fucking need y'all motherfucking cities, bitch, we don't need y'all shit. If we are connected to source, we don't need anything that you guys fucking provide, okay? So yeah. See, yeah, this is what blocked roadblocks, right? So this is what they like to create. They want to create roadblocks and temporary setbacks, so that way we're not recognizing, we're not ascending like we're supposed to be doing. That's what this age is about. The age of the Aquarius is about ascension, right? You see how we've grown, right? With all this, like we had the technology age, right? Then we went, the computers, we got exposed to all this knowledge and all this information. It was an information age, right? But now we have all the information. Now it's the age of knowing, knowledge, wisdom. We not just knowing shit just to know shit. We're knowing the shit to utilize that information and to shift and to transform this Phoenix rising energy, okay? Where we're shifting because we recognize the shift in the ethers, and we have to shift with the shift of the ethers, okay? Hey, Demigod K, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Okay, so yeah, changing. This is all about transformation. This is all about shifting with the times, right? Don't get left behind, right? If you're trying to hold on to the old ways of living, baby, that's exactly what's going to happen. Don't get left behind, baby. Hey, Misunderstood, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah, because when we're not ready to adapt with the times, this is exactly what happens. That's what evolution is about, right? When we talk about, and when we learn about evolution in science, right? Evolution, if the motherfuckers that didn't adapt to the new environment, they got extinct, okay? So this is what it's about, okay? It's a choice. What do you want to do? If you want to stay in the old time, or you want to evolve with the new shit, because that's what time we're in. And people can decide to get left behind if they want to. We all got free will. But if you want to get stuck in the old way of the matrix and be caught up in materialism, caught up in, technology, because technology is what is guiding us in this direction, because everybody want to keep up with the newest shit. They want to have the newest iPhone. They want to have the newest fucking, metaverse shit, whatever. And we're evolving with this, but they're using this to guide us in the wrong direction. They're using it to mentally put us in a deeper mental enslavement. And not only that, but even now they're making it a physical control, because if they took technology and they surveillance everything, and then they change your currency and they say you can only utilize this money because they got control over every fucking thing, then it's like, where the fuck does the freedom go? You don't have the freedom anymore, and that's where they want to put it. So it's like, unless we're not ready to say, I'm ready to relinquish all this shit. Fuck technology, fuck the old matrix, fuck the cities, all of this shit, because that's where they control us. You can have that, be able to adapt, right? You can be adaptable, but just be ready to evolve and learn the ways of living off the land too. Learn the ways of how it is to not be codependent on city. Okay. Hey, Dystopian Warlord, welcome back, love. Thank you so much for joining the live. Dragonfly Blue 64 says they want sleepy people. Right. They want us sleep. They want us low energy. They want us damn near half dead. That's why they feeding us poison and everything. That's why they fluoride and everything. That's why everything that we've been co-signing saying, well, it whitens your teeth. All these fucking things that we're decalcifying our third eye trying to keep us away from source, keep us connected to what we should have an understanding to, right? This is why they're able to control us, because we be co-signing to the shit, just letting them tell us whatever, and then we don't utilize our own wisdom and intelligence and the information, because we're in the information age. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's out there is out there, and we know it. And we, as far as wisdom, knowledge, and like, we can Google the shit. So it's like, people who decide that they want to be ignorant is because they choose to be ignorant, because there's no reason to be ignorant. There's too much knowledge. There's too much information. There's everything is accessible. We could just go Google the shit and boom, here's the information. So it's like, people who choose to remain ignorant, they just, they could be NPCs. Maybe they just don't even, like I said, you never know what the fuck's going on, right? But in our reality, if we're evolving, then we have to consider all of these things. I'm ready for this.